Imagine having a life-saving women's health solution that can really change lives, only to get stuck in a 147-day sales cycle. This type of frustrating reality truly slows down innovation, and worsen is that patients cannot get the solution that they truly need. What if there's a better way to break through the system, get more funding, and ultimately scale faster so your solution can be leading the market and impacting lives? Let's uncover some of these barriers today and strategies that can make a true difference within the next months.
Welcome to Provider's Edge, the podcast that helps healthcare entrepreneurs and innovators break down barriers and control their business, life, and future with valuable action steps. With me, your host, Sabrina Runbeck, a recovered clinician and a business deal catalyst. Let's rewrite the rules and create a positive social impact while increasing your profitability.
Healthcare innovation is hard no matter what solution you're trying to put forth. Just another day, I was putting together a whole checklist from we just starting a business all the way to level 10, where you are doing every single thing to boosting your visibility and getting yourself published as a author and being on stage. Now, getting from that first launching the business all the way to people recognize yourself, your solutions has a lot of steps. And most time people oversimplify the steps and turn out to be in business for multiple years and having multiple gaps in between. But nevertheless, when it comes to women-led businesses, we're seeing that the hurdle just seems so unproportional harder for those ladies. Yet, statistics have shown us that these women have been able to generate revenue at least 10% higher than those led by men. And therefore, you need to have a co-founder or executives on your board that are women. Now, getting back to today's episode, we're talking about the death by the long sales cycle. Particularly, I, as a cardiothoracic surgery PA, have seen that the death by long procurement of how we wanted to implement new technology, innovation, and patient care into the hospital system, and we have to jump through hoops before something gets bypassed and gets a stamp for approval. Now, what is this hidden barriers for women health innovations? We've seen that less than 3% of funding has been tend to stuck in 2.1% for the past few years for women-led businesses. Now, is it truly just because it's women-led, or we don't have enough women leading changes, leading companies, and perhaps we're not ready for that? Perhaps that society and the teams that you have built is just not ready for your gifts as women. How do we change this dynamic? And as we know, women actually are more likely to be more calculated when making decisions. Not that they are risk averse, is that they are willing to take risks when things are more presented to them. And therefore, we've seen that 35% of companies run by women have a higher ROI, according to the Huffman Foundation. But the real challenges truly runs deeper. In my TED Talk, I discussed the 30% problem why women-led companies is so tough. And I presented the 3 Gatekeeper Myths, systematically suppressing the success and the full potential of these women leaders. Understanding these barriers is the first step to break through them. Number 1, the mental moat, turning self-doubt into strength. The mental moat manifests as the inner voice. In positive intelligence, we call that the sabotaging tendency. And my nickname for my judge of all of the sabotaging tendency is the itty bitty shitty committee that constantly sings to me. If I recognize it, then I can train my brain to neuromodulate into the higher function of what I need to be. This inner voice constantly telling us, are you ready? Do you really think this is okay? Are the people that are helping you gonna step in, or you have just to do it all by yourself? Just like myself, clearly you can hear an accent, and I have a unique voice. Now born in this country, when I started to speak, I always had the doubt of, can people really understand what I'm saying, or am I actually saying something that people can understand? Now, we actually know the unique ability of who you are is not a weakness, it's a strength. Women founders often bring up a deeper understanding of the user's need. They spend more time on discovering and researching on their counterparts. At the same time, I hear founders tell me, Sabrina, I just don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I'm not used to that. But you, as a leader, is not just representing your company, but yourself as a personal brand. If you don't share those messages, you don't share your gift and your solutions and this product and service that you have built for other women, and guess what? Then we are all suppressed. Even just one person that need to hear your message, then you have to share for them. We understand in most of our engagement, when we're able to work with founders that get over the self-doubt by optimizing and removing that sabotaging tendency of itty bitty shitty committee. And actually, there are 9 additional categories of them. And then tapping into who they truly are, the purposeful, the amazing people, the mission of this company that you're on, truly align with everybody else in the company. And that can be a hard thing to do as well. And then ultimately set your physical body in the motion of how you communicate, how you engage everyone. That's how you break down the mental mode. Now, okay, let's get past the mental mode. What is our second myth? Is the perception drawbridge. Now we're ready to transform barriers into bridges so we can keep going, so we can actually get to that amazing castle, the castle of your dream, your solutions, and your true impact. The perception drawbridge isn't just about external barriers. It's about the invisible wall high achiever build around themselves. I see the pattern repeatedly. Brilliant women who trust their ability to do more and carry lots of weight onto their shoulders because they feel like they're a team player, but then they become a victim of doing more and more and losing the focus of what truly need to double down on and not just do more of what they already been doing. When you haven't perfected where you needed to go, and you know certain things has been lacking, and just repeating the same thing, such as I'm speaking to people that has been pitching for funding or invited to speak on stages, but I have no idea. There's no really clear pattern of the story hook, the process, the result, and what they are asking everybody else to do to support them. When the message is not clear and you just keep going out there, guess what? You're creating confusion around your brand and your solution. And just because you do more of it without the course correct and preparation, that does not help you. So knowing where you have to refine and do the right amount of work, not just doing more work, can actually convert a high-level deal into a final close. So what does that feel like? Wearing a blindfold while juggling fire torches and just keep going. No one can probably sustain that. You're going to drop something or you're going to hit the fireball and burn your hand. You're skilled at so many different things and enough to keep them in air probably, but how long do you have to make sure that you're safe, your company is safe, and your entire team is safe while you're performing in the edge of success? How can we get you to achieve your goal with more effective ways? It's not just about, oh yeah, I can do it, I can do this fast. But then guess what? Your task list probably just got extra 5 things added and you haven't even finished the first 2 things yet. So many founders that I've been hearing is proud to say, Sabrina, I've been sleeping 4 hours and that I'm good with that because I'm such an early riser before my kids get out, before I have to jump into my other commitments. I have that early 4 to 5 a.m. to do everything I need to do. Amazing. You get to do that. Is that sustainable though? You're talented, but do you know what you need to let go and what you need to eliminate, what you need to delegate, what you need to automate? And is that all those things that you know is good, but you just actually don't know how to put the right people and process together so then you can do something that's actually creating higher return on investment? So the solution isn't just work more. It's working smarter through strategic planning and the steps that actually is easier for you. That's actually easy for you. Eliminate what's non-essential. And the first thing you have to do is start tracking. Typically, we say at least track for the past week for yourself on what you have been doing from hour by hour, task by task, in what type of task you perform, in what time frame, and when you finish it, how is that linked to a future result, a future core value? And additionally, typically when we conduct SWOT analysis for a company, both from their leadership, their marketing, and their operations side, we ask them to keep track of the entire last quarter. How many meetings that you had to just get into one decision to get all your team together? How many calls you actually took that are business partner calls, sales calls, founder investment calls, and how many for each of the partnership that you have, what do you have to do to actually get to that close? Things, if you don't track, you don't reflect on it, you don't know what actually works. And despite many people tell me, Sabrina, seems like I'm just talking to the people that are not right. They say it sounds good, and they come back for another meeting, and we don't really move forward. Well, it could be they're not the right investors or business partner for you. Did you do your homework on that in the transition? Or they perhaps are the right people, however, they're not hearing the things they need to hear to actually build enough trust in your ability to get that buy-in. So start reflecting and tracking and get the people to actually have a dialogue with you for this SWOT analysis or reflection time for you to know what you actually have to focus on, get better at, and do more, and let go of the rest. Now let's talk about the third myth, Citywatch, navigating the systematic challenges. The Citywatch is like the golden clothes of the Game of Thrones. Deeper entanglement of system, it feels like they are not recognizing who you are, your solutions, and you're constantly in the swing of what if, how do I do this better? But seems like other people are not helping you at all. Now, historical data also shown us some troubling numbers. Until 1993, women were largely excluded from clinical trials. Even today, only 8.8% of NIH grants spent from 2013 to 2023 were dedicated to women's health researches. But changes is definitely coming. The White House Conference on Women's Health Research recently announced a $1 billion investment to address this historical underfunding. But yes, we know less than 2% of medical research's funding used to go to pregnancy, childbirth, and female reproductive health. And this is not just a funding gap, it's a fundamental oversight in healthcare innovation that we have been seeing a shift, especially last year doing health, just like Halle Berry announced her perimenopausal platform for women, we're seeing both leaders, influencers pay attention to these topics, as well as government now supporting in this domain. Despite these challenges, innovative companies can create what I call your own empowered ecosystem. And those ecosystem has to be built based on the solid foundation of three major elements. The physical elements of the company means your product, your legal compliance, your financial stability, your operational excellence, your tech integration. And then it's the emotional part of your company. How do you tell the story, get buy-in, paint a picture that people can see themselves in it, and have an easy sales process and follow-up process so you don't lose the leads, and build that relationship with the right association or organization to be on the same waveform of supporting similar people, and continuously to be the leader in the spotlight on podcasts, TV shows, and different areas so you can stand out even more. Successful women leaders truly learning to navigate the systems strategically instead of just doing more and fighting against the constriction that has been put on us. Like myself, I decided to not work full-time in clinical medicine and did this big pivot and have a lot more enjoyment with my background in neuroscience, music. Like myself, I'm able to combine now everything I ever had a degree on plus some personal interests of neuroscience, music, public health, and medicine all combined into one fun mix of helping founders to be standing out in the spotlight, connect to the right investors and health systems to be able to create more impact and scale more effectively, and ultimately become the person that they lead with the highest performance level they can be. So building this breakthrough strategy can really be simple. And the landscape for women's health innovation is shifting, but success requires more than just mindset shift and a great product. So what's truly working for the founders today? Number one, evidence storytelling. Don't just share data, textualize it, paint a picture, put some color on it, and show how your data can have a storyline and impact and benefit. So your solution is not just, oh, we have these molecular or we have these hormones. There's so much more than the actual thing that you're creating, but how you're shifting the whole dynamic of how people live and their lifestyle and what they truly want to accomplish themselves. And women in that menopausal phase can't be able to have the best next chapter than they ever want to have. And number two is strategic relationship. Build connections between what you need, what they need, and the best deal often comes through a warm introduction. So get to know more people. And just like me, we host HealthTech Showdown, a game show that mixes with Shark Tank and Apprentice. The goal is for these founders to be on stage with the people that already want to invest in them. In March, the thing is Women's International Month, so we are having women's tech solutions on there to be competing so they can be presented to hospital systems who are looking at implementing new women's health solutions, as well as investors who care about closing the next deal for women's health solutions. And accelerators are actively seeking who are the best ones to put into their next cohort. Number three is focused scale. Instead of trying to solve everything at once, prove your model in a specific user base and then expand on it. Number four, value translation. Help stakeholders to understand not just what your solution does, but how it impacts their specific metrics and goals. Now, when you package everything together, you have the right story, you have the right message, you have the right support system, and you know how to carry things out. Then we definitely invite you to be a contestant on our show, HealthTech Showdown, or simply come watch and learn the strategy and the system, how we help you to close more deals and get more funding. Go to HealthTechShowdown.com to register so we can see you at our next event, and perhaps you'll be on the hot seat asking questions as well. Now, moving forward, the emergence of FemTech has created unprecedented opportunity where we see innovations on a whole spectrum of opportunity: fertility and reproductive health, menopause and emergent solutions, maternal care program, women-specific cardiovascular monitors, and mental health platform dedicated for women's needs. Now it's for you to take the next action. How are you playing a part in leveraging women leaders in your organization? And perhaps you are already a founder or co-founder in an organization where you executive leading an amazing solution. What has you found as the major pivotal point that allow you to be successful? We want to hear from you. Make sure you comment below wherever you're listening and watching this, or screenshot, post it, share with us your insight on LinkedIn, tag me, Sabrina Runbeck, so we can continue this amazing conversation. And perhaps you are someone who deserves on our judging panels to showcase your expertise in leading women's solutions, adapting the right things, helping others to see the values in taking on the right investment, as well as partnership when they're ready for the next big contract. So what's next? It's about taking actions. This is why we created HealthTech Showdown, a monthly private event that only have 100 participants and 4 contestants with a panel of experts who are ready to open their wallet to invest in you and open up a pilot to truly test your solution within their health system. During this event, you will see investors who manages more than $100 million funds and health systems from Cedars-Sinai to Tenor who are managing multiple hospital and innovations and looking specifically for your solution, how you are able to support both patients, physicians, and the entire hospital system, and executives as well as digital health pioneers who have such a deep passion in early stage as well as the growth stage companies. And for all of us who join, you also get a whole system of the best 150 pitches we heard and summarized in how do you actually create the best hook when you're going to conferences, meeting with investors, or selling to get your next big contract. And at the end of the day, we want you to get more funding and close more deals so you can become the next industry leader. If your solution is not within the women health and FemTech space, our future events have specific episodes on digital health, wearables, biotech, health education, and much more. And we're happy to see if you will be a good applicant for us or simply curious about those solutions. If you're someone who's a leading expert in the field, we would love to invite you to be on our judging panel. And if you're someone who needed to spotlight, and ultimately each episode, the winners get press releases sent out to more than 100 different US, Canada, and European-based magazines to get you more boost and recognition. If you're ready to shorten the sales gap in your business, join us on our next HealthTech Showdown and go to HealthTechShowdown.com to register.
Thank you for tuning in to Provider's Edge podcast. We hope you enjoy our latest episode and found the insights and tips helpful. We'd love to hear your feedback on the show and learn what topics you'd like us to cover in the future. So please take a moment to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform and let us know what you think. Your feedback is essential to help us improve the show and provide you with the content you need to take your healthcare business to the next level. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.